What's up, y'all? So it is time for the Q&A video. Yay! I'm doing this video because one, I haven't done a Q&A in a while and they're fun. And two, with my last video, I got a lot of new subscribers. So hi to you all. I honestly did not expect the reaction to that video that it got. It got almost 50,000 views, which that's the most views any of my videos have gotten in a long time. It definitely surprised me because I'll be honest, I kind of didn't edit that video as good as I could have, but I think it might have pulled people in because of its title, which sounded kind of clickbaity, which I didn't mean for it to be. It literally, if you saw the video before it was just a response to that one. But I'm glad you all enjoyed it anyway. So for this vid, I got a lot of questions that pertain to how to make certain things in the fursuit, which is what was expected. But I'm not going to be answering most of those questions because after reading through a lot of them, I saw that a lot of the questions you all had can be answered in some of my past videos. So if you left any question on my, Q&A call vid about how to make certain parts of the fursuit or how to do this or how to do that, I suggest going through, my past videos and seeing if you see a video there that addresses that issue. Because I saw questions like, how do you duct tape a head and how do you sculpt the head and stuff like that, and I know I've done videos on that in the past. So yeah, if any of your questions pertain to how to make something on a fursuit, check out my past vids. Time to answer the questions. I'm going to be looking at them off my phone, so don't mind me just, staring intently at my phone as I read the questions. Question number 1. How many suits did you make before opening for commissions? I actually did the research on this after seeing this question, and it turns out I made around 12 fursuits from the, beginning of me making them to officially being commissioned for the first time. That just goes to show that if you're a beginning maker, you do not have to sell your first, second, or even third fursuit. You can take the time to get good at it, to know what you're doing before you start selling your suits. And my first commission even, I didn't advertise for it. I was approached by somebody who said, hey, can you do it? And I was like, yes, I don't know what I'm doing, but if you're okay with that, let's do it. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got my first commission. And even between my first and second commission, I probably made about 3 more fursuits, whether they'd been personal projects or pre-mades or whatever. So don't rush into it. That's basically what I'm saying. What do you like/hate about fursuiting? What I like about fursuiting is, from a fursuit maker's perspective, is being able to wear your fursuit and being like, yeah, I made this and I'm showing it off. And especially when you get compliments on it, you feel that extra sense of pride because it's like something you made. And when they're complimenting you on your craftsmanship, on your design, it's just a really good feeling, and I really like it. What do I hate about fursuiting? Well, I am a very low stamina fursuiter. I am not the person who can go out for 5 hours and suit around at cons and just have a wild time. No, I'm the person who suits for an hour, and during that hour, I have to make 3 trips to the Headless Lounge. I am just a very low energy kind of fursuiter, and that really bugs me out because I've always been, envious of the people who are like, yeah, I've been suiting since noon and now it's 7 o'clock, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that. That's not always healthy, so, know your limits. But I've never been somebody who can just suit around for hours and hours and have fun, and I always wanted to do that, but, I'm small and low energy. When/how long have you been in the fandom? I have been in the fandom since I was about 15 years old, and that means it has been about 11-ish years, 10, 11-ish years, maybe, give or take, so. How do most makers get their head bases so smooth? I'm bamboozled. Honestly, it's a skill. It's basically just scissors and, electric knives and whatever you use to carve foam with X-Acto knives. It's just a skill you gotta hone. You just gotta keep snipping at it. It's sculpting, basically. You just have to develop the skill of a sculptor. That's how they get it so smooth. That reminds me, back when I was younger, I went on DeviantArt and I was like, how do artists get their line art so smooth? I don't understand it. Are they using a special tool? And I'm like, no. Not a special tool, it's just years of a steady hand. So that's basically all I can tell you. Just keep at it, keep sculpting, maybe try sculpting actual sculptures to get better at it. I'm not sure. Just that it's a developed skill. 2 questions. All-time favorite fursuit crush And what initially got you into fursuit making? Thanks and have a good day. Oh, thank you. You too. My favorite fursuit crush? Okay, so my fursuit crush, I guess you could say, I wouldn't really call it a crush, but there is one fursuit out there that I adore. It's one of those suits that if it ever went up for sale, I would put down any money I could to own it. And that is Kyrith the Crow. Now I'm sure a lot of you are probably like, who's that? Well, that's because this fursuit, I'll post a picture of him, but this fursuit I've only ever seen 2 pictures of it in one video, ever. That's it. But I absolutely adore this suit. I really wish it was, out in the world more. I really don't know why it's like, such a ghost. I don't know who it's owned by. I don't know where it is. I know that the fursuit maker who made it is not a full-time maker. There's somebody who only made it for a friend. I've never seen the suit rehomed. I've never seen the suit at a con. Well, scratch that. I've never seen the suit at a con, but I know it was at BLFC of like 2016, which when after the con, I saw somebody post a picture on Instagram saying they met him, and I was so jealous. I'm like, are you kidding me? He was at the con and I didn't see him? But I adore everything about the suit. Maybe I'll put a link to the one video that exists of him down below if you want to watch it. But it's just, oh my god, it's a bird suit, as you can tell. He's Kyrith the Crow. And just everything about this suit. Oh my goodness, I love him so much. And I would love to meet him. I'd love to know who owns him. I'd love just see him again. Oh, I wish he had more pictures online. But yeah, that is my favorite fursuit. And And what initially got me into fursuit making? Fun story. I know nowadays a lot of people like to get into suit making because when they join the furry fandom, they see, a lot of people making their own suits and they think it'd be fun. They want to get in on it. They want to, like make a fursuit and stuff like that. My story was nothing like that. I think, as far as I can remember, I started making suits before I even knew about the furry fandom because I made them for cosplay, but the real origin story comes in the form of when I was, 14, 15 years old. I saw fursuits and I wanted one, like, every baby furry does. And being 14, 15 years old, my parents very sensibly said, no, you cannot spend a couple $1,000s on a big animal costume. And so you know what I did? I'm like, fine, I'm gonna make one myself then, out of spite, because I was just so angry. I'm like, why can't I buy it? I don't want to make it. I want to buy it. But I wasn't allowed, so I looked up the techniques and I made it myself. And I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it myself. I had like no delusions of selling a fursuit, of ever making fursuits forever, or even like becoming more part of the fandom. I just wanted a fursuit and I knew making it was the only way to do it. And so I made it. And that's how I started fursuit making. And then I just kept making more because I knew I was never allowed to buy one. And fun fact, I did not commission my first fursuit till I was about 22 years old. So for almost 10 years, it was lodged in my brain that I could never commission a fursuit. So that's why I've been making them, because I can't get them any other way. So that's my fun story. There you go. How old are you now, and how old were you when you joined the fandom? Also, what's a species that you wish to see more of in the furry fandom? Like I've said numerous times in this video so far, I was probably about 14, 15 when I joined the fandom, and I am 26 now. And what species do I wish to see more of in the fandom? I'm not sure if you mean this in terms of like fursuit or just, species in general. But for both answers, it's birds. Oh, I love birds so much. So much. I love birds. And there needs to be more of them, especially because birds are such a unique animal. It's not like, some other animals where every kind of breed of them looks kind of similar. Birds are just, there's so many different types of birds out there. You could have so much fun with them. I just love birds, and there needs to be more, because I feel like I see one every blue moon. Ooh boy, there's a lot of these ones. Favorite YouTuber, non-furry related and furry related. Any pets? If one day you woke up and your fursona had come to life, what would you two do together? Favorite plushie yours, favorite movie, favorite most overlooked species in the fandom, and if you say my name, hi. Hi! Okay, I'm going to try and go through these as quick as I can, just because there's a lot of them. My favorite YouTuber, furry and non-furry, I don't really have a favorite furry YouTuber. I actually watch a little bit of everybody, so if you know of them as a furry YouTuber, I've probably seen their videos at least once in the past. If I had to pick two that I'm more in favor of, I guess I would say well, neither of them really make videos much anymore, but both Rain Foxy and Vix, because they're actually personal friends of mine. So I really just, like watching my friends' videos. So, hi guys. And non-furry YouTuber, my current favorite YouTuber is Dead Meat, along with Foundflix. They're both horror genre YouTubers, so that's all they kind of do is talk about horror movies and review them, with Foundflix doing things like Ending Explains and Dead Meat doing kill counts, and they're both just like really fun to watch, and I love horror, so those are my two favorite, non-furry related YouTubes at the moment. Any pets? Yes, I have one. My kitty, who's actually looking at me right now from past the camera. She's on my floor. And I'm sure if you've been watching my videos, you've seen her in the past. She's a little goblin. If my Fursona came to life, what would we do together as the first thing? Go flying. That's one of the reasons I like being a dragon, because dragons can fly, and I've always wanted to fly, like, natural fly, not like fly on a plane. So we would go flying. It would be fun. Favorite plush? You can probably see them. They are right there. They're my Toothless and Light Fury Build-A-Bear plushies. They're my current favorites, probably because I actually went out and bought them on my birthday as a birthday gift to myself. And to do that, I had to go to a Build-A-Bear that was in nowhere I'd ever been before. And so it was, a memory to actually get out there. So those are my two favorite plushies at the moment. My favorite movie? That is a very broad question, but I'll try and break it down by a few parts, because I don't think I can pick one favorite movie. Kind of overall, Zombieland. Favorite animated movie is probably WALL-E, just because of how many times I've seen it. And favorite horror movie right now is either Hereditary or Bride of Chucky, because those are both good. And favorite most overlooked species in the fandom? As I said before, birds. I love birds so much. But if I had to pick different animals, elephants, obviously, and horses. I don't feel like there's a lot of horses in the fandom, and there's definitely not a lot of horse suits. So whenever I see a really good horse suit, I get really excited. Your suits are some of the most unique and well put together I've seen. Well, thank you. When it comes to choosing commissions, do you tend to take on commissions that you're comfortable with design-wise, or do you like to challenge yourself with more ambitious designs that are out of your comfort zone? Keep up the beautiful work. Thank you again. This is actually a really good question, so thank you for asking it. It's also a really good question in terms of, while I'm going to answer it, I also want to address all of you out there who are kind of taking commissions for the first time or wondering something similar. And the answer to that question is both. I say that because while I personally, yes, I do like to take on designs that are going to be interesting to me, designs that are going to be a challenge. But I think it is very important that you take on both types of designs. You can't just take on a ton of complicated designs, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to burn yourself out. If you only take on designs that are interesting, that are unique, that are really hard to do, because those are generally the unique ones, you're just going to get so tired, because you're going to make a suit that has 9 colors and has wings and horns, and then you're going to have a suit right after it that has 4 pairs of wings and 4 sets of eyes and a million tiny stripes, and you're just going to be like, I can't do this. So it's really important to take both types of commissions. For example, in my upcoming queue, I have a Chimera coming up, which I'm really excited for. He's got the whole thing. He's got the skull face, the wings, the horns. It's going to be really cool. But I know that if I did 4 of those suits in a row, I would be so dead tired. I wouldn't want to make suits anymore. So what I'm making before I make that suit is just a plain fox. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that design itself is really pretty in its own right. But it's also giving me a chance to, not have to hit the gas at all times, to be able to kind of just do it really casually and have fun with a more simple design that I can also take the time to try out different techniques on, because I don't have to worry about complexity. So yeah, it's just, remember that if you are taking on commissions, do take on unique designs, because they're fun and they'll look really good at your portfolio. But don't only take those on, because you will regret it in the end when you don't have a breather in between all these crazy projects. Not to mention, people still do like seeing simple designs, because not everybody likes hella complexity and hella uniqueness all the time. So it's a win-win for everybody. Remember, variety is the spice of life. Do you have a niche interest that not many know about? For example, I am an artist and I love engineering and physics for some reason, even if I didn't study any of that. First of all, physics and engineering are pretty cool, so that's a cool interest to have, so good on you. Second of all, I guess I would have to say horror. I love horror. I love the movies, I love the monsters, I love the concepts, I love all of that. It's just, it's such a good genre, and like, I'm recently just more getting into it because I'm kind of a baby, and I never really saw horror movies in theaters. In fact, like when I was in 8th grade or something, I tried to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and I had to run out of the room. I was so scared. But I'm making up for lost time. I'm currently watching all the major, like, big ones. I've watched all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I'm making my way through the Halloween ones. The most recent one I watched was Hereditary, and I loved it. Oh my god, it is so good. So yeah, and that's why I've been talking about, you know, my favorite horror movie and my favorite non-furry YouTubers are, you know, 2 horror genre YouTubers. I love the genre so much. Will you ever make a suit for your main Sona? I made 2 versions of him in the past. I think the last one was made in 2015, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. But for a long time now, Elk has actually been like on my to make list of personal suits. And for the past like few years, he's kind of been at the bottom, like I'll get to it. But lately he's been pushing towards the top and I really need to remake him. So expect that sometime soon. I'm not sure if I'll, you know, use them to make videos, but I'm definitely going to be remaking my Sona suit pretty soon because, you know, I miss wearing him. Hi, so from how many countries have you had your commissioners from? I have customers in 4 countries. The US mainly because, you know, that's where I'm from. There's quite a few in Canada, I believe. I have about 3 in Germany, I think. And I have 1 in Switzerland. Or maybe Sweden. It's one of those S ones. Do you plan to make fursuit making as your forever job? Is it more of a side thing until other career stuff comes up? Career goals. I'll be honest, no. Fursuit making has never been my, you know, forever job or my career goals. I never intended to make fursuit making as my full-time job, and I still don't now. In fact, my actual career goals lie in animation. I've gone to both an undergrad and grad school for animation. I'm currently living in the LA area trying to break into the industry, and I'm making fursuits on the side. So yeah, this is never going to be permanent, and I am eternally grateful for the customers I have and continue to have and people who like my work, and I'm never going to truly, you know, like abandon fursuit making once I get a job, but you know, once I do get a full-time job, I'm going to have to make fursuits less. Again, I'm still gonna, you know, do them as in the free time and do them as my hobby, and so, like, this still, right now, it is my hobby. So, yeah, that's my actual career goals. Again, I am endlessly thankful for those of you who are still supporting me while I'm doing this. But yeah, I hope to one day actually have a job in the animation industry. Also, hi Ramcat. Do you collect anything? If so, why is it special to you? I collect... okay. I really like to collect things, but I'm not like a hardcore collector like a lot of people are, where they have like shelves and shelves of it, mainly because I don't have the money to do that. I wish I was that person. Anytime I see those kind of collections, I get so jealous because I wish I had something I could collect to like that level. But I do have things that if I see them out, I'll try and buy them the most times I can if I have the money, or I'll try and get as much of like that one thing. And that would mainly come in the form of 3 different characters right now. The first one being Toothless. As you can see, I have the plushies, and I'll show you around to my other things. I have like a Toothless, I have a few Toothless figures, one that sits like on my computer, I have one that sits on my nightstand, I have a Toothless pillow, I have a Toothless blanket, I have a lot of shirts, so like, I collect him. Stitch is another big one. I have a Stitch like water bottle, I have a ton of Stitch pins. In fact, I have a Stitch Eat-A-Bag, I hope you can see. So those are all like the Disney trading pins along with other things I found. And I have multiple Stitch pillows and Stitch like clothes and everything like that. And the last one, who I don't have as much of because he's like, you know, less prominent, is Bill from Gravity Falls. As you can see in my background, my giant tapestry. And I also have an Eat-A-Bag of him. Kind of hard to see, but I have a few things of him hanging around my room too, so whenever I see that, I try and buy it. So those are 3 things that I collect per se. and special to me in the sense that, you know, they're just my favorite characters and I love them. If we really want to go into special collections, I actually do have a large collection back at my old house of dragon statues that my dad actually helped me buy, so I have a ton of those. So again, why I've always been a dragon kid, I have a lot of dragon statues in my collection, and those are personal to me because of, you know, family reasons. And the last question I'm going to be answering in this vid: tips for fursuit makers who are starting. Now, when I said I answered that, I kind of lied. I'm not going to answer that question, but that is because that is a good question, and that is going to be the topic of a series, maybe, of videos, because I had a lot of you asking me that similar question. How do you start your business? How do you, like, become a first-time maker? Stuff like that. So I'm going to dedicate the next few videos, full-on videos, to what it takes to start your own suit making business, what you should have prepared, what you should expect, all that stuff. So get ready for that. In the next few videos, I'm going to try and do my best to walk you through it to the best of my knowledge and hopefully help you get off your feet with your fursuit making business. Yay! Well, that is it. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this vid. I hope you enjoyed me just talking about myself, I guess, for however long. And thank you all again for all the questions, and thank you all for all the subscriptions, because I think based on that last video, I broke another 1,000, so I'm now at like 15K. So thank you all so much for that. And one final thing, I had a few people asking me about cons. I don't really know what cons I will be at this year aside from BLFC. So I'm going to be at BLFC in the next few weeks. So if you're going to that con, I will be there. And come say hi if you want. So that's it. I just told you what my next vid is going to be. So look forward to that. And until next time, bye!